Hello and welcome to everyone watching. My name is Surjo, and in this video I shall be doing a really quick demo for the Roland GAFC foot switch. This foot switch is basically meant to accompany the Roland amps, the series of amps that they have, and the Boss Katana series of amps. And I'm connecting the GAFC foot switch today to my Boss Katana 100, and that's the range of functions that we're going to go through. We are not connecting any external foot switches or expression pedals to the Roland GAFC, although there is an option for doing that. We're going to keep it basic this time around. The first things first is that the way to connect your foot switch to the amp is that they have provided a 3.5 mm TRS stereo cable along with the foot switch. So you just take that, there's a section for which says foot switch, and there's a section on the back of the amp socket which says GAFC. So you connect the two of them and voila, they're connected. The foot switch does basically two functions. The first is, as you might have noticed on your Boss Katana, is that they have a section where they have 4 channels. It's almost like patches. Patches are being set. 4 patches that you can save and recall as and when you want to use it. And then they have it in 2 banks, so 4 patches for one bank, 4 patches for another bank, for a total of 8 patches. So normally if you have your amp set up on stage, and if it's, let's say, further a little in the back line, you can't be walking back and trying to find the tiny button. That'll happen under the lights of gigging conditions and so on and so forth, the dark stage. It'll be difficult. This is where the GAFC foot switch comes in handy, because the first thing you can do is you can switch through the channels. As you can see on the foot switch, it's channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, and loop, which is basically the panel. So whatever you have set up, which is not saved per se, but whatever was there on the panel section, which is basically what you're quickly editing and so on and so forth, without it being saved to a channel, so you can access that. So it's essentially 4 plus 4, 8, and 1, 9 sounds. So we're going to go through that. So you can see right now it's channel 1. The chain is really simple. It's my Vox guitar going into the Boss Katana, and I'm controlling the Katana through the GAFC foot switch. The Katana is going into the audio interface through a line out. That's simply it. Channel 1, channel 2, big red light, you can see it. Channel 3. Channel 4. And this would be whatever the loop has, the panel rather. So now that's the 4 sounds in one bank plus the panel sound, the sound from the panel of the amplifier. But I mentioned that there were 8. So how do you switch over to the second bank? What you do is you press the panel switch. First you go to somewhere in the 4 banks, not on panel itself. So you are somewhere in the 4 banks. Let's say I'm on channel 1 right now. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, immaterial. Then you press, while keeping that pressed, you press and keep pressing the panel switch. Now you see there is still 1, but the panel is flashing. It's a slow on and off, which means that now you're in the second bank. Now let me demonstrate that with the sound. Different tone. is channel 2 in bank 1. Press the panel. 2. Bank 2, channel 3. Bank 1, channel 3. Bank 1, channel 4. Bank 2, channel 4. And panel again, which was the same as before. So we've been through the 8 channel patches and the 1 panel. So we have that. So now that's the first. As you can see, channel 1, channel 2. So you can just flip through the patches using the GAFC foot switch without having to fiddle with the amp itself, like going near the amp, which might be at the back. So it could be like a processor, like a foot switch for controlling. That's great. And especially since you can control and save your patches by using the software, which is the Tone Central Boss Tone Central software for the Katana amplifier, and there you can make your entire live set. So for different live shows, you can have different live sets, and you can just recall the patches. You can save them accordingly using the computer, using the software, and then you can just recall them. That's what I do. I've been playing a few hard rock gigs where I needed different sorts of patches, and I would just save them, and I had like 2-3 live sets. That's what they call it live sets, and I saved 2-3 live sets, and I would just switch through them, and it's like the easiest thing. Connected, it's like a 5-minute job tops with your computer, and then you go on stage and you're absolutely on. You don't have to worry about anything. It's your patches, they're not going to be tweaked with whatever. It's so that's amazing functionality. Now the second thing which they have, which is after, you can see channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4 panel, but on top of that you can see booster, delay effects, tap, reverb, and loop, and on the extreme right a button called effects. So basically what happens is within a channel you can have access to the different effects that are being used by the amplifier, and you can turn them on and off, which you can't do in the amp by itself. Okay, so let me take the, because this is a really heavy sound, so it'll be easy for me to demonstrate the changes. So I'm on channel 4, and since it's blinking, that means it's bank 1. I'm going to press effects here, and you can see a lot of things have lit up now. So things that have lit up: booster mod, I've got something on there, the delay and the reverb, they all lit up, and the tap tempo. So since everything is lit up, first let me just demonstrate the tap tempo. That's really quick, almost slap back. But you can just turn the delay off, one click. No more delay, no more repeats. Turn it on. Simple as that. Turn the reverb off. Dry. Turn the booster off. Extra gain. You get the picture. Reverbs, and so you can do that for every patch. For every channel you can go and you can switch on and off. Now keep in mind, you can't do that on the amp itself. The amp doesn't have an on off. The amp has a rotating knob, so you can change the mix and so on, but you can't just switch it on and off. So if you've got your pedal to a sweet spot in your software where this is exactly it, this is what I want, no moving the knob anywhere anymore, none of that, because it's not even a mix knob. On the drive it's not a mix knob, so it's different. You can just switch it on and off by using your foot switch. That's extremely convenient, because you could have something like maybe this could be the rhythm, and then you could just tweak the things in and kick in for a solo. And you have a wide control over the tone just by using the foot switch. So I think this is an incredible tool. I've used it live, like I said. Last few days I've had the opportunity to do some gigs with the katana, and sorry about cracking my knuckles. It's a habit I have, one I've learned to live with. But I've been using the GAFC foot switch, and it has worked really well for me on stage, because literally all I do is I just carry a tuner and this. And for most hard rock purposes where it's not very involved in terms of sound, and even if it were, I can just tweak it in the software. So whatever, if it's something specific, reverbs, whatever, taps, tempos, specific sort of compression, this, that, all of it can be done in there. All of it can be done in there. And especially with the software update that has come out, it's even better. And I maybe plan to do a video talking about the software itself and how to tweak things and what it does and what sort of functionality it lends itself to. But the foot switch has been an absolute blessing. Can use the amplifier to its full potential, or absolutely near its full potential, just by using the foot switch alone, which I couldn't do without the foot switch, because you would have to go turn things on, off. Like it's not the same. It doesn't offer the broad range of functions that the amp has to offer. So this is a good way of utilizing that. I found this pedal extremely helpful. I hope you found this video extremely helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Please go through some of the other videos. I'm trying to put up as many demos as possible. There's some new gear coming along the way. I'd be excited to share all that with you as well. And there's some songs and there are some ideas that I want to try and put across. Maybe something a bit more regular for all of you who do decide to follow me and take the time in appreciating my efforts and what I do. And I want to share some parts of my musical journey with all of you. And that should be a lot of fun. But anyway, till next time, take care.